right. Well, how are you doing today? I don't know about you, but I am having a blast. I'm doing something new. So I'm actually live broadcasting on YouTube, Instagram, and I seem to be hitting a snag with the Facebook. So give me 1 second to try to fix that. Maybe, maybe. Who knows? Let's try this. That might help things. If not, we can try it this way. Clear. And reopen. Reboot the app. That's usually the case. So, while we're dealing with technical difficulties, I really just want to let you all know that I really appreciate that you are here. Oh my goodness, I've already got 4 people watching on Instagram. Summer, Sky, given name 234. I know you. Oh, okay. Hi, Logan. And Phil, thank you all for being here. Honestly, I'm using multiple devices to do this. I know there's a really cool way where I could use OBS to send it to all 3 at once, but I haven't quite figured out how that works yet. So instead, I'm using my tablet to go live on Instagram. I am here with you with a borrowed laptop from the wonderful Raven. And for YouTube, and then for Facebook, it's supposed to be going through my phone. I've done this many times. That's why I decided to use my phone for the Facebook Live. But it seems to not be wanting to connect. Oh, there we go. We are now live on Facebook as well. So, that being said, I want to switch this back over here. Because I really like the way that the 3 camera angles are really kind of going all the way around me. Now, I hope nobody gets too upset that I am not super paying attention to all of the comments on 3 different platforms. I love you all. I will eventually figure out how to get this all tied together, but for now, it's not really what's important, is it? If you looked on YouTube, you will see that the theme for this live discussion is called Flow States and Fun Times rather than Fear. I've been watching a lot of videos today about all kinds of things happening all over the world, and one of these overarching themes that I'm seeing is that we often will let fear control us and tell us what we can do, what we can't do, what is and isn't right to do. And more often than not, the ideas where those fears came from, there was no logic or reason for it. It was just the way someone felt. So if it's just the way someone feels, why do you have to conform to it? I mean, I don't really think you have to. Do you? I apologize. These warm snaps have really been kicking out something in the air, and I have been a little choked up today, but I wasn't going to let technical issues stop me from doing this again today. And that kind of circles us right back around to the point of it doesn't matter when things don't go the way you want them to. It doesn't matter when things don't turn out the way you expected. What matters is, are you having fun with it? I mean, that's kind of the whole point of life, is to enjoy yourself. So if you're not, what are you doing? If it's not something that you actually enjoy, and that to clarify that, because a lot of times people are going to look at that and they go, well, I really don't like getting up and going to work. I mean, really? Because if you didn't, would you be there? there's something about it that you like. Now, maybe it's just that they give you money, but maybe nobody ever told you that other people could give you money too. So if you really don't like that job, get out. It's pretty simple. You just walk out the door and don't come back. But is that really what the issue is? Or is this ruled by your fear? And in being ruled by your fear, you're preventing yourself from low states of consciousness, which are totally natural and normal for everyone to do. It's not that big of a deal if something goes squirrely, you know? It's supposed to. It's what makes things fun. I love this story by Alan Watts, and I am going to do it a terrible service by retelling it here, because I am definitely not yet the wordsmith that he talks about Kobe dolls, which I believe is a term for basically blow-up doll. And he says the reason that these rubber wives are not more popular is that, for the most part, you know exactly what they're going to do. There's never going to be any surprise. So it's only going to be boring after a certain point. Well, that's life in its essence right there. It's all about that surprise. Now, do you let that surprise wreck you, lock up your mind, prevent you from making choices? When you play a game, isn't it when it does something you don't expect that you get the most tuned into it? Isn't that when you have the most exhilarating experience because it's actually challenging you and you are stepping up to something more than you've ever displayed? That's what life is. That's flow states. And you do it more often than you think. Where you get stuck is when you let that fear rule you. How do I not live in fear? Well, I mean, examine it. Understand that fear really is false evidence appearing real. Your feelings can never be evidence. Feelings are true in that you have them. But that doesn't make them facts. Okay? Acknowledge the difference between the two. Accept how you feel. Make a decision to figure out a way where you don't have to feel that way. Maybe it's just a little cognitive reframing is all you need. You know, just rethinking the situation into where it doesn't scare you and you're not worried about the outcome. Maybe you need to look at your desire for the outcome. I mean, do you really want that outcome? Or is it what you want from it? Like going back to the idea of, I really don't like my job. Well, you really like the money though. But is it the money you really like? Is that the outcome you're really looking for? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10 that outcome that you're looking for is, in fact, the security that you're going to gain from having that money, or the freedom that you're going to gain from having that money, or the safety that it's going to provide you. So why not just focus on those 3 things in the first place? Take the middle steps out that you don't need. It's extraneous information at that point, right? So how could I feel more safe, more secure? Well, I could look at the fact that I'm alive and breathing right now. That's kind of awesome. I mean, all things said and done, if you're not bleeding out right now, you're doing pretty good. You have a infinitely tall mountain of opportunity in front of you at that point. And it doesn't matter which way you climb it, so long as you climb it. You know? And how do you do that? Well, stop. Distract yourself from what doesn't feel good. That fear thought. And once you distract yourself from that idea, come back and think about that would be fun to do right now. Instead of, what is it that makes me more scared, and I can cycle on that thought. Well, when you start thinking about what could be fun right now, I mean, even if it's, I'd like some pizza because, fat guys like pizza. Or, I'm sorry, I don't like using terms like that, except that I find it amusing personally because these whole identifying labels thing, they're just another way for that fear to trip us up. That's why I use them. But I realize now that it's possible that people won't understand that message and they'll just think I'm fat shaming, which I'm not. Trust me. I love everyone, period. And I also love pizza deeply. It's actually like my number one favorite thing in the world. It was on the days when I was in my deepest depression, my number one thing that I would exercise gratitude for. Because no matter what, no matter how bad I felt, no matter how lonely I felt, no matter how sad I felt, I thought of killing myself that day. The thought of pizza would get me to thinking about fun times I'd had while eating pizza and people that loved me and had a good time with me when I was eating that pizza. And the whole chain of thought just associated itself out to a better frame of mind. And I think that that's kind of the deal is we've got to just that better frame of mind. We have fun, and having fun sets our perceptual bias in a different direction instead of looking for things to verify that we should be depressed, sad, or otherwise living in fear. If we're having fun, we're exhilarated, we're alive in ourselves. And in that state, we can see all the reasons to feel more and more gratitude, joy, love, and happiness. So, what are you doing every day to make sure that you put some fun in your day? For me, and sharing love with every one of you. I am so happy you're all here. I am literally floored by the number of people actually on the live broadcast right now coming in today. I really appreciate it. And it's nice to have people show up and hold space for you. And I hope you know that I love you, and I would be happy to do the same for you. So I think that's going to end it for today. That was really all I had. I didn't want to go super long on this. I was feeling a little bit of flow on a thought and a concept, and I really just wanted to open my heart and share it with you. So I hope that you feel the love and that you remember, beyond anything else today, to have fun.